Ever wondered what pure luxury tastes like? You've come to the right video. And Gordon Ramsay, if you're watching, this is for you.
Alright guys, so I believe the person who actually requested this video on my channel is a real-time foodie, because someone actually requested this video and I have to, like, provide the right video for beef wellington in less than 24 hours. So you can also go into my comment section below and then drop those beautiful comments. Tell me where you're watching this video from and then tell me your kind of food you think I'm missing on this channel. So I'll get back to your comments in less than 24 hours and bring you the right videos to that your requested foods. I don't know how to put that. I don't just know how to put that. Just go into the comment section, drop me a request, and I'm going to get you the right video of that food in less than 24 hours. Alright, so on this one is beef wellington. Let's just see what we've got with Joshua Weissman. It's always this kind of super saucy and
I'm sure many of
flavory
us are
meal.
familiar with it. It's one of my favorite things of all time. It's basically a tenderloin that's wrapped in many
I
beautiful things
trust
like
you.
prosciutto and a duxelle, and the ever so famous puff pastry. It can seem, kind of, incredibly daunting for a first timer. But look me in my eyes. I promise you that once you watch this video and understand how this works,
I'll
it
never
becomes
do it
incredibly
again.
easy to pull off.
Okay.
And when I say that this is worthwhile, I mean it. Now enough teasing, and let's do this, shall we? So the first thing you need to start with is a tenderloin, obviously. Now nobody really talks about this, which is honestly quite a shame, but you need the right kind of tenderloin. And by that I mean you need to get a center cut part of the tenderloin, also referred to as the Chateaubriand. Fancy sounding, right? That's always good. Basically, you need something that's even in thickness from one end to the other. This is a Chateaubriand piece that I decided to take the ends off and, make it a little more even because I just be extra like that. And you want that bad boy to weigh in at 1.5 pounds or 650 grams at 2.5 to 3 inches thick. Now just let that come up to room temperature. I don't care what Kenji Lopez says. Trust me, let it come to room temperature. Now while the tenderloin's coming up, we're gonna make our duxelle. Start off by finely chopping 1 pound or 468 grams of mushrooms with a knife or a food processor. It can be a mix, or it could just be all cremini or button mushrooms. Here I have a mix of cremini, maitake, and hedgehog mushrooms. Also, for the record, I'm not calling out Kenji J. Lopez. This just needs to be at room temperature because you need to sear it very, very quickly. Anyways, you're gonna chop that until you get something just slightly smaller than pea-sized bits. You essentially want it to make a paste when it's cooked. Next, fill a pan with 2 finely chopped shallots, 3 finely chopped cloves of garlic, and 2 tablespoons or 30 milliliters of olive oil. That's right, in a cold pan. Then place that bad boy on medium heat and sweat those vegetables until they begin to turn translucent. Now I do it in a cold pan because I want it to be a gentle start. That way we don't risk any color at all. Then add all of your mushrooms and season generously with salt and continue cooking on medium heat, stirring often until they've released and simmered off the majority of their liquid. About 5 to 8 minutes. And once you've done that, you're gonna add 2 shots of vodka. That's a joke, by the way. You're actually going to add 3 tablespoons or 44 milliliters of whiskey, a good whiskey, along with the leaves of 2 fresh sprigs of thyme. Then just let that simmer for a minute or two to cook off the alcohol and to reduce it until there's almost nothing left. Then just let your duxelle cool off on the side. Okay, so now it's time to sear the beef. Heat a pan that'll accommodate the size of the roast over medium-high heat with 3 tablespoons or 44 milliliters of some sort of high heat cooking oil. So it's time to steam the beef dry with a paper towel and season very generously with salt and pepper. And make sure to coat all sides. And once your pan is rip-roaring hot and almost smoking, add your beef to the pan and sear on each side for about 1.5 to 2 minutes.
The salt and
the
black pepper was just added to one side.
You really want to keep that inside almost raw because it's going to be going back in the oven. You don't want it to get overcooked when it's baking. And don't forget to sear off those end butt pieces too. They need some color too. Oh look, and there's my butt too. Alright. And once that's seared on all sides, you're going to place it on a plate and then brush it immediately with a good Dijon mustard. By the way, that was a hair from the brush, not my hair. I don't want to hear about it in the comments. Now make sure that you're brushing this while it's still hot so it really absorbs that nice mustard flavor. Coat every side, then just let that cool down to room temperature. Now we're almost ready, but we need to pre-wrap the beef in something. So we're going to make crepes. That's right, I know it sounds weird, but trust me, it's essential. I'll explain later. You can make your own or you can buy pre-made, but first you're going to start with 3.5 tablespoons or 51 grams of all-purpose flour, 140 milliliters of whole milk, and 1 egg. Whisk those together, add a tiny little pinch of salt, and that's it. Then just preheat a non-stick medium-sized pan over medium heat. Add just enough butter to coat the bottom of the pan. You don't want a pool of butter. And then pour in just enough of your batter to swirl around and coat the entire bottom surface of the pan. Then just let that cook for about 1 to 2 minutes. Flip and let it cook for
Wow.
another 45 seconds
Wow.
to a full minute. Then just repeat that with the rest of your batter. You're only gonna need about 2 or 3 crepes, depending on the size of
Okay.
your pan. Okay, so it's Wellington burrito time. First line up 2 to 3
Guys,
crepes
that's
so that
done
they
in
overlap to create some length.
a
Need it to be
medium
long enough
heat.
for it to
If
wrap the
not,
beef all the way around.
it's
Now
just
just
going
layer
to
on some
get this kind
nice
of
thin
crispy.
slices of prosciutto at the base, about 6 to 7 slices. Go edge to edge with that goodness. Then
Okay.
carefully spread all of your Dixelle, starting at the base to coat everything evenly. Now, if you want an even ring of Dixelle around your Wellington, like in mine, then unfortunately you kind of just have to have the spatial analytical skills to sort of decipher how far to spread it so it coats it all the way around the beef, no more, no less. It should essentially connect at the base when rolling. Then gently
Okay.
place your beef at the base of this layered beauty and begin gently and slowly rolling it forward with the layered crepe on top of the beef until it has been totally wrapped in it. Then gently roll your wrapped beef in evil plastic wrap, I know, I'm sorry, with enough excess wrap on the sides to then tighten the wrap around the beef by holding the end shut and
Okay.
simultaneously rolling. This should sort of create some nice tension, but not too much. Give your Wellington baby a little smiley face and then place it in the refrigerator to chill and firm up for about 30 minutes to an hour. Now once that's been chilled, you're then going to roll a sheet of puff pastry to 1/8 of an inch or 1/3 of a centimeter thick. Then brush the surface of your pastry with egg wash consisting of 2 egg yolks and 1 tablespoon or 14
Okay,
milliliters
so you
of water
egg wash
to whisk
that
together.
one
Then
right there.
place your Wellington burrito at the base of your pastry, not at
And you
all the way at the bottom,
re-roll
even a little bit of a lip to grab
with
onto
the
while
other
rolling.
layer.
Then just grab your puff pastry and slowly roll it around your entire Wellington. Till the edges meet, you can cut off any excess. Keep the excess though. Then pinch those edges together so that it's completely and totally closed and encased. Pinch off the edges, cut off any excess on the edges, and really make sure that it is totally encased with no holes. Then brush the entire surface of your Wellington with the
Egg
same egg
wash
wash.
again.
Now at this point you can go ahead and add the flaky salt and toss it in the oven now, but I like to add a little lattice pattern on top. Now you don't have to if you don't want to, but I'm
This
going to show you
gonna
how to do
rest
it
in
really
your
quickly.
web.
All you need is something called a lattice roller. There will be a link in the
Oh.
description for the one that I have, and then you're just going to run that across another sheet of
Wow.
puff pastry or some of that excess if there's enough excess left over, and that's really it. Sometimes if the lattice roller doesn't go all the way through, or you can just use a knife to help it open up a little more. Then carefully drape your lattice pastry over your egg wash brushed Wellington. That's kind of a mouthful. Connect them at the base and then cut off any excess, and then just, wrap it around, connect it at the base. Brush that once more very lightly with egg wash, otherwise they kind of pool in those little divots. That's not so good. And then sprinkle super generously with none other than flaky salt. Don't be afraid to go hard with the flaky salt. It creates such a nice crunchy salt crust. It's a beautiful thing. Then just place that bad boy in an oven that's been preheated to 400 degrees Fahrenheit on convection or 425 degrees Fahrenheit in a regular oven. For all you metric people, that's 204 degrees Celsius on convection or 218 degrees Celsius in a regular oven. And just bake until you get that nice golden brown crust. Mind you, this
Okay.
recipe is for medium rare, so if you want to cook more, just leave it in longer. That's pretty much it. Once it's done, cool it for 10 minutes, slice it and serve. Now, when you're serving it, you can absolutely make a delicious sauce simply by taking chicken stock and
I
reducing
know
it
Joshua
by about
Weissman doesn't,
75%.
take his
Taking it off the heat and then adding a couple
meals,
tablespoons of
his
unsalted
dishes
butter,
without
stirring it until it
sauce.
emulsifies,
I
and
trust
you've
him
got
for
a
that.
delicious sort of pan sauce. Then just serve your Wellington with mashed potatoes, vegetables, the goods. Now, beef Wellington starts with a B, but do you know what else starts with a B? B-roll.
Well, alright, so thanks to the person who actually requested this video on this channel. Thank you a lot. I've never seen this kind of, what's so called beef Wellington or whatever. Alright, so if you want to make a request on my channel, so just feel free to get into my comment section and tell me which country you're watching from and then your kind of food you want me to get on this channel. Alright, so just make sure you subscribe to my channel in less than 24 hours. I'll get your right video to that food. Alright, so get you another videos. Stay blessed. Peace.